Hello, it's Crypto CJ. It's the trade of the day, Thursday night slash Monday morning or Friday morning, Monday morning, Friday morning Zoom edition, depending on where in the world you are. And I'm still in Thailand, so it's Friday morning for me, and mostly Thursday night for my friends from the USA. Good to have you all aboard. Bitcoin's been trending up this week and actually staying above 90, so that's good news. We're at about 93.8 at the moment. So. I checked the news. I didn't see anything really cutting edge. There's a lot of little snippets here and there about ETFs and government regulation laxing and things like that. So generally, pretty good overall for the crypto market. We do still have the tariff stuff going on for the TradFi market, which should bleed over, but maybe that's cooled off now and we're ready to pump. Of course, then there's that sell in May and go away approach. So some traders are concerned about that. But overall, the market seems to be pretty good and friendly towards Bitcoin and some of the other altcoins as well. Ethereum's starting to improve. Let's look at the charts. I'll share my screen and let's look at Bitcoin on a day chart. You guys should be seeing that.
Yes, we do.
Thank you. And on the day chart on Bitcoin, we're well above all the moving averages, the 20, 50, and 200. Got a strong trend up here. Green candles mostly, a little bit of red now, but looks like we hit 94 and then dip back down. So, and Ethereum still below most of the EMAs, but you see trending up here last few days into the 1700s now. We were down in the 13, 1400s just a couple weeks ago. So it's good to see that improvement. And with an Ethereum improvement, we should get an overall altcoin improvement. On my list here, we got a few. That was EGLD with a nice move up, 17%. But it's just a handful of altcoins that are making that move. Most of them are trending sideways or dipping down a bit. So finding the right altcoin is still a challenge, but we will see what we can do today to find those. So, any questions on the markets overall, or anything? Anybody care to add anything before we go to Altcoin Alert? See if we can find some day trades and swing trades.
Yeah,
Nah.
it is what it is.
I got a
Thank you.
question.
Okay.
Um, Everybody over at well, some of the other sites I'm on for information,
Hmm.
trashing XRP. But everywhere you look, there's a positive article for it, and it's taken over Palau uh as their official currency, and I don't know. You hear all this positive stuff, and then you hear all these people that are like just dogging it. So, what's your thoughts on that?
I like XRP a lot for day trading because it's volatile. At least it has been. So for that reason, I like it, but it's not a buy and hold coin for me. So, and I don't really focus on buying and holding on this Zoom call. There's hundreds of people more qualified than I to talk about such things. But I do like XRP is something to trade on a day basis, maybe even a short-term swing, but I don't hold it. But there's a lot of disagreement about the efficacy of that altcoin. So that in and of itself should be probably a deterrent to holding it, but you guys do what you want on that. I'm not sure if that answers your question, but it's about the best I can do. And Bitcoin just broke 94. Cool. All right. Anything else? Thanks for that. All right. Let's go to Altcoin Alert. And I've got easy mode off, got the altcoin radar setting selected, and I'll do a quick refresh. get the most current information, and we'll start with an AA score sort. And that was BTG, I believe, bringing up the number one coin at 95.7. It's a really high score. And then a few others in the 70s and 80s. Let's look at BTG. I don't think I've looked at that one on this Zoom call before. It's not recently. Okay, well, it's not on many exchanges, which is probably why I haven't looked at it. Pancake swap on the BNB chain. Huh. That's a DEX I've used before. Then spot crypto. I'll look at it there. Volume's kind of low. Yeah, I don't like that. Let's look at something else. Bell. Bell is at 77.7. I've traded that before. We'll look at that. And it's on Kraken, so look at the perpetual on Kraken just for fun. So this is a nice setup. This is below the 20 on the RTI. Let me do a quick review on my layout for day trading. 15-minute chart, support and resistance with the supply and demand visible range by Algo. Resistance, the red zone, support the green zone here. RTI, which is what I was mentioning before, is dip below the 20, which is usually a good place to get in. Give you an example of that. Go to my vertical line here. You can see it dip below the 20 on Tuesday, broke above it right about here, went sideways for a while, actually up 13% here, and dipped, and then shot up, 60%, which is amazing day trade. Even at 13% would be great. So those are past examples of what Bella's doing. So is that going to make another move like that after this dip? Could be. So I'm going to set an alert on the RTI, right click, add an alert, crossing up on the 20. Once per bar close, leaves it on all day until I turn it off. Custom name, AA score. TradingView will remember the name of your alert if you typed it in a few times. Notifications, notify app on my smartphone, toast notification on my computer screen, play a sound also on my computer screen. For day trades, I like to go 3 notes reverb, click create. And I've been trading directly on exchanges more than using my third-party software lately, just to give you more variety. So, and there's my Bella alert. If I want to trade both directions, I can do this a little differently. Instead of crossing up, I'll select entering a channel. That'll be 80 on the top, 20 on the bottom. And click save. So that creates this rectangle here. So if this breaks above the 80 like it did here and dips back down, that can be a really good short entry. And that happened here. And obviously that was a really good short, 30%, which would have been a great short. I go for small moves usually, like 1, 2, 3%, the 10x leverage on a foreign exchange. If you're not trading on leverage, that's fine. You should be using spot anyway to get familiar with this kind of trading. It's fast paced, and you want to be going along. So the RTI breaking above the 20 can be a good entry for such trades. Okay.
You said you're looking at that on Kraken?
Yes,
You can short on Kraken?
I think so. This is the perpetual futures contract. So I just chose that one out of the list. I don't know if Americans are barred from perpetual or not, but you might want to check that out depending on your experience. Um,
Okay.
you know, if you are trying trading on leverage, go with a low, um, a low leverage amount, maybe 2x, 3x at the most, 5x, until you get some experience. Okay, so that's the day trade. Let's go to the swing trade setup. So that's going to be my hour chart and supply and demand visible range for support and resistance again. But I'm using SuperTrend for entries. It's very alert friendly. And Trendilo LSMA, which is a moving average indicator for confirmation. At the moment, we're in a sell, but we're in the buy zone support wise, but we don't have a buy signal yet, nor do we have the Trendilo LSMA for confirmation. So in this situation, right click on the super trend, select the buy option, and you'll get the next buy signal. Then you can look at the markets overall to see if that's something you want to get into. I'm actually looking at some other setups for both day trading and swing trading, looking to expand and have a little more variety. Plus, this call has been pretty similar for the past going on 2 years. So try to bring in some new stuff for my peeps. And I'm testing some things. I'll know in a couple months. So for now, we'll stick with the super trend and catch the next buy signal. Hopefully that gets you in a good entry on a potential swing trade. Any questions on Bella as a swing or day trade? All right, we'll head over to Altcoin Alert and do some other sorts. Social activity sort, matched up with trading activity. A lot of matches here, 106 bullish on social, 72 on trading. So we should have quite a few. Brett looks. Helium, which we talked about before. Sui, which we talked about before as well. EtherFi, don't know that one. Sis. Komodo, Ravencoin, KDA, FET. So some oldies but goodies here. SNX, oh, okay. AVA, DNT. So there's a lot to choose from here. A lot of matches. I was going to look at Sui. I think I have a position on this. And I believe this one is on Coinbase. There it is. And this one's been moving. It's already above the 80 on the RTI, so we're a little late on that. It hasn't been below the 20 in quite a while. Yeah, since Sunday. So this might be one where you want to get in, set your alert at 50, because we had a couple dips around 50, not always breaking it here on the RTI. That ended up going up. Yeah, this one here broke above the dip below the 50, then took off. 13%, good stuff there. So add an alert on the RTI, crossing up on the 50, It's per bar close. Social activity sort. And click create, and you're good to go. That'll get you that long position. Next time it dips down below the 50. But I'm gonna go with my tried and true entering the range, which means I may not get an alert today. If I go 80-20 on this, but that's okay. So this might be something I can short if it dips below the 80, and then maybe works its way down to the 50. That would be a good day trade for me. But for those of you who are trading on Coinbase for longs only, you might want to get in at 50, hold some funds back in case it dips further down below 20, so you can get that additional position. Okay, that's
a point on Coinbase. They are doing derivatives, and with the setting up the well, we'll go after. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
okay. Yeah, I've dabbled a little bit with derivatives on Coinbase, but not enough to really talk intelligently about it. But
yeah, it's just started.
Yeah, I think they just opened XRP a few days ago on something
Yes.
to trade on derivatives. They've had Bitcoin and Ethereum for several months. So, all right. So SUI on the day trading option is already played out. It's at resistance. So this is not a good place to get in unless you consider a longer term trade. So look at the 4-hour chart. No, it's the top of the range for that. 8 hours, same thing. Excuse me, day chart. Now, if you want to look at the day chart and catch that retrace, get in now, and your retrace potential is, around 50% in 96 days, about a 0.5% a day. It's not bad. It's not the kind of trading I like to do, but again, this one does have retrace potential on the day chart, going back well above $5, and it's like 335 now. So something to consider for you longer term trading folks. But for the hour and 4-hour, I think it's too late. All right. Any questions on SUI as a day or swing trade? Okay, so that was the social activity sort. Look at 1-hour projected range. And Bella looks pretty good, but we looked at that one already. On the lower value, I like to see a positive number or a very low negative number. Then obviously a positive number on the upper, which would make the overall average positive. So Altcoin Alert is telling us this is a 1.7% potential in the next hour. I still like to apply some technicals to this. And like I've said many times, I use Altcoin Alert overall. It's just something to tell me what's moving today. But this sort's not really helping, so I don't use it very often. Okay, the next is short-term sentiment. We got 25 bullish matched up with the Elder Impulse hourly, which has 56 bullish. So we've got Bella again. Core, don't really know that one. So altcoin loves Bella today, but not many other matches on short-term sentiment, which is pretty normal. It's not one I use that much. I like long-term sentiment better, and we'll get more matches matched up with the Elder Impulse daily, 81 bullish, 135 bullish on the technical. I like matching up sentiment, which is what people are talking about online, with Elder Impulse Daily, a longer term technical indicator. And when these are matched up, these can be useful. So we've got EOS, which is something I like to trade. Komodo, Ravencoin, Anchor. These are older projects. VET, EGLD. These are all potentials to follow. So we looked at Arweave Maker, Orchid, Verge. These are all older. Ondo, Helium. So any of these would be, you could find on multiple exchanges. Let's look at EOS. And that one's probably on Coinbase. And it is. So this one's above 80 now, so we're a little too late on that, but it had a nice break below 20 yesterday and took off. So that cross happened right about here. And, 6%. It's a really good day trade. So set that alert on the RTI. Crossing up on the 20. I'm going to go with my entering a channel. 80-20, once per bar close. This was long-term sentiment. And 3 nodes reverb. And there's my rectangle. So I'm good to go either direction. This might be something I short. I'm not on Coinbase, but on a foreign exchange. So EOS. Let's look at this on the swing trade layout. And we are in the red zone, deep in the red zone. So I don't like that for an entry. The 4-hour looks good though. If you got in now, there's a few different areas of resistance. Kind of like this one here, 13% in 17 days. That's a good swing. Or you could hold out till the red zone, which would be 22% in 20 days. That's more than 1% a day. So either of those would be reasonable take profit areas on a swing trade. And we're coming out of the green zone. SuperTrend is printing buy. Trendilo LSMA is trending up, green. So if you want to trade on the 4-hour chart, this one is good to go now. Not financial advice, but I like what the chart's showing. Okay, any questions on EOS? Well, that's about all I have for Altcoin Alert today. Anybody have any questions on day trading, swing trading generally, Altcoin Alert, or want to look at any specific coins? Very well. I will wrap it up here. Appreciate you guys joining me live. If you're watching on the recording, glad to see you there too. Check out the opportunities in the pinned comment. They help fund the channel. So subscribe and comment and share and all that stuff. Have a good trading weekend and should see you guys on Monday night / Tuesday morning. Bye.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye-bye.